Hello, in this short lecture I will give you several reasons for God's non-existence. The reasons for non-existence of God are the first one is God doesn't exist because an all-powerful being would not have created a world that is so imperfect. The second reason of non-existence of God is it makes no sense that God created man to put him through the test of life, because if man sins, then this will be proof of God's imperfection, because he created that man. Okay, after all, God knows what will happen in the future and what man will do if he sins or not. Then it turns out that he pre-created something that is not perfect. Okay? The third reason for the non-existence of God is God has nothing to do but create creatures that he will put to the test. And especially, why does God, who is omnipotent, need human beings to glorify and praise him? A being who is perfect doesn't need the glorification and praise of the creatures he created. And the fourth reason why God doesn't exist is why would God, who is omnipotent, create evil? Why would God create a world in which there is poverty and hunger, diseases, wars, natural disasters such as earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, pain and human suffering and death? So God would never create such bad things. Okay? And another reason why God doesn't exist is why would God create a world where there are predatory and prey animals, and the very existence of the predatory animal necessarily depends on the brutal death of the preyed animal? The next reason why God doesn't exist is because logically it's impossible. When I explain why, because we can ask the question, can God create a stone that is so big that he himself could not lift it? If he cannot create such a stone that is not omnipotent, and if he cannot create such a stone, then he is not omnipotent. Okay? And if he can create such a stone, then there is something that he is not able to do. That is to say, he is not able to lift the stone that he himself created. So he is not omnipotent. And then he is still not omnipotent. That is, a being who is omnipotent cannot logically exist. Or in other words, God doesn't exist. And the last reason why God doesn't exist is the very fact that there are three monotheistic religions monotheistic is a belief in the existence of one God or in the oneness of God. So there are three monotheistic religions, that is to say Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and those religions contradict each other, and that contradiction proves that they are all false and are actually the product of human invention. In other words, man created God. So that were the reasons why God doesn't exist. Okay, thank you very much.